poof.
Poof.
And poof.
And poof, the story came to an end.
And now, Narrative Telephone, version 3.0. I'm Dustin, and this is The Coin. I stumbled drunkenly down the alleyway. I caught a glint of light coming from the mud below me. I reached down and picked up a coin. Awesome. Looks like I'll be having another round, this time on the gods. I wiped the mud off on my shirt. I was too drunk to care. I flipped the coin up in the air happily, and as I caught it, a blinding flash of light hit me as my eyes refocused. Wait, wasn't I just in Dirk's alley? Where the hell am I? I looked around, realized I'm standing on the edge of a cliff, overlooking... Is that a floating city? In the distance, huge towers of obsidian, like teeth reaching for the sky, gleaming from a not light, from an unreal sun, something on the horizon. I looked down at the coin in my hand to see that the image on the coin resembled the city in front of me. Confused, I slowly turned the coin over in my hand. The end.
Narrative Telephone, version 3.0. The Coin. So I stumbled drunkenly down an alleyway, and as I was walking along, I saw a glint of something in the mud, and I looked down, and I saw that it was a coin. So I picked it up and kind of dusted it off on my shirt. Didn't care because I was drunk. And I said, all right. I guess I'm gonna have a drink on the gods tonight. And as I was holding it, I flipped it up, and I caught it, and I was standing over a cliff. I was no longer in Dirk's alley, but instead over a cliff, where I could see these huge towers of obsidian rising up out of the ground like teeth, and a not quite sun casting a strange, almost light over the scene. And as I looked down at the coin, I saw that it had the same image as the city before me. And so I turned the coin over, and the end. Good luck.
All right, Narrative Telephone 3.0, The Coin. So, as I was stumbling drunkenly through the city, down an alley named Dirk's Alley, I saw something glinting in the mud in front of me. I bent down and looked at it, and aha, a coin. So I brushed it off on my shirt because I'm drunk and I don't care. And I said, hey, I'm going to have a drink on the gods. And then I flipped the coin in the air, and as it went up, it glinted in the sky, and then I caught it, and boom! I was no longer in Dirk's Alley. I found myself at the edge of a cliff, staring out over miles of obsidian spires in a city that I'd never seen before. There was a and not sun that cast what could be called light over the scene. And as I glanced down at the coin in my hand, I saw the side in front of me had the same scene. And as I flipped over the coin, poof, the end. Good luck.
Hi. So, we have Narrative Telephone 3.0, The Coin. As I was stumbling drunk down an alley called Dirk's Alley, I saw something in the mud. I bent over and saw something shiny in the mud, and so I bent over and aha! A coin. I brushed it off on my shirt and said, I'm going to drink to the gods. Then I flipped the coin over in the air, and suddenly it burst like poof. I was no longer in Dirk's Alley. I was in another place. I was at the edge of a cliff, and I was looking over a large city with obsidian spires, and it's a city I've never been to before. The sun was shining and cast a shadow somehow over the city. And as I looked at the coin, it had the same picture on it as the city I was looking at. And so I flipped it again and poof, the end.
Okay, here we go. Narrative Telephone 3.0, The Coin. As I was staggering drunk down Dirk's Alley, I saw something shiny in the mud, so I bent down and picked it up, and it was a coin. So as I pick up the coin, I think, I'll drink to the gods, and flip the coin. Poof! Suddenly I was no longer in Dirk's Alley. I was standing on the edge of a cliff, overlooking a city with obsidian spires. When I looked at the coin again, I noticed the image on the back of the coin was the city I was looking at. So I decided, hey, let's flip the coin again. So I flipped the coin, poof. And that was where the video stopped.
This one was a lot shorter than I thought. Version 3.0 Narrative Telephone, The Coin. As I was staggering drunk down Dirk's alleyway, I saw something shiny in the mud, and I bent down to retrieve it and saw that it was a coin. And I thought, well, if I have a coin, let's drink to the gods. So I flipped the coin up into the air and poof! Suddenly I was standing on a cliffside overlooking a city of obsidian spires. And I looked down at the coin in my hand, and I saw that the image on the back of the coin was exactly the same as the city below. And so I flipped the coin again, and poof, the story came to an end.
Well, there doesn't seem to be much left. Narrative Telephone version 3.0, The Coin. I was staggering drunken down Dirk's alleyway one day when I spied something shiny in the mud. And bending down, I picked up a coin and thinking to myself, I should drink to the gods. I flipped the coin and poof, I found myself transported to a city of obsidian spires. And looking down at the coin, I saw that it was the same image on the coin as before me. And I flipped the coin, and poof, the story was over. I guess that's it.